A question to you. The English language, if that's your native language, where did you get it from? Your ancestors, right? So you didn't get it from yourself. So how to speak correct English, it doesn't come from you. It was transferred onto you. So when you get annoyed because someone doesn't speak correct English, it's an agreement that was transferred onto you that you're holding on to. Because it's not something natural. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with expecting someone to speak correct English because then you can understand what they're saying, but this attitude of holding on to one who's want to speak correct English, it is learned behavior that's transferred onto you. So that will wasn't actually your will to begin with. It is you aligned your will with what others will concerning English, and that's why you have this attitude. You get what I'm saying? Your first name was transferred onto you, and people decided how to spell your first name. So if your name is John with a double N and someone writes with one N, you then become upset. Why? Because that's how you were conditioned to identify yourself with a John with a double N. Now on a paper for the government or for the bank, then you should expect them to write it with two N's or else you're in trouble. But in daily life, it doesn't really matter, but you attach yourself to John with a double N because that's what you've been conditioned into. That wasn't your will to begin with. Where am I going with this? You've been conditioned by society. So your will reflect what you've been conditioned into. What if what you've been conditioned into is self-destructive? Is that okay to be open and direct about your will if your will is self-destructive? No. You should examine your will when your will is challenged and forfeit things that don't add up. But Satan teaches you to be honest, to be direct. There's a difference between honest and direct. A criminal who wants to rob a store and comes with a gun, he's direct. He's not honest. Someone that feels bad about a subject, but then decides, you know what, I'm going to leave it for now. I don't even want to give my opinion because I can't have an opinion because I don't have all the necessary information. So he goes and does his research, and then if he's informed, that's honesty. Being direct or being aggressive is simply, I want something, I have a will, and you have to deal with this will. If you can't handle this will, if you can't process it well, it's your fault, I just will it. That's direct. That's what the world calls honesty. Now, Satan wants you to be quote-unquote honest so that you will trap yourself and destroy yourself without being aware of it. Don't you know that a lot of folks are destroyed because they're holding on to wills that don't add up without examining it? And then your challenge just want to leave them, want to be left alone. This whole attitude of want to be left alone is a satanic attitude because it simply means you're not willing to be responsible, nor near to yourself, nor to the community, nor are you willing to do what's right or what's the best. You simply don't want any natural responsibilities nor any natural obligations. You're just greedy in the sense that you want relief, you want things to just work out for you without any obligations. But others are obliged to make sure you are left alone. So it's a narcissistic attitude, it's a narcissistic, greedy attitude. But Satan knows this about fallen mankind, that this is a type of attitude people without Christ tend to have. So Satan promotes that attitude by telling you, just be honest. If you can't stand someone, just be honest by saying, I don't like you, I don't like being around you. What's going to happen? When you project discomfort on someone else, you are agreeing negative on someone else, you are in darkness. So when you validate this agreement in your mind by acting out against someone else, you now agreed hostility towards someone. Now, every time you encounter an individual or hear about an individual, you're triggered in negativity. So you're the one in bondage. And here's the thing, if you act out negative towards someone and others pick it up and also act negative, even though they're the ones copying you, you set emotions, so whatever harm happens to an individual, it will be on you. That's how it works. And if that individual seeks spiritual help and he backfires everything, you're in trouble. Because you're the one willing it. You should have checked your will. If you felt discomfort associated with someone, ask why you feel discomfort. If it's not you, then there's something with the individual. If there's something with the individual, you're honest and you're going to find out what it is. Meanwhile, you keep the individual at a distance, not because you have anything against the individual, but because you want safety. That's honest. But Satan's honesty is just trying things out, willing what you will, and trapping yourself. That's why God often beats around the bush. That expression, being around the bush, simply means that you don't say what you exactly want or where you're heading, but you are kind of, you know, talking too much or waiting too much here and there. And people that think, what do you want? Oh, God does that. You know why he does that? Because God doesn't trust everyone with his will. His universal will is that everyone becomes born again, relies on Christ as renewed inner mind, and walks by faith to glorify him. That is universal will. But his individual will too, concerning you, and maybe concerning your community, God will not reveal that to everyone. So God will beat around the bush with a lot of folks, even some believers who are not ready to be trusted with this information. And here's the thing, Satan doesn't know everything. He's not omniscient. No, they know a lot, but they don't know everything. They can't read your mind. So what's going to happen now? The enemy wants to know what's going on. So for the enemy to know what's going on, he needs you to be open about things. That's why the enemy, through culture, promotes this thing called honesty, quote unquote honesty. By doing that, you're trapping yourself in a pattern of violence. And once you're trapped in a pattern of violence, evil spirits can easily rule over you. Because evil spirits can only operate in patterns and cycles. Because they operate in darkness. So by you validating expectations that don't add up, you're trapping yourself in a cycle of violence with its so-called honesty. And now Satan is laughing, they're rejoicing, because you're open about your will, but your will is trapping you, and now they can use that will against you to destroy you. God beats around the bush because he wants you to learn to rely on him. Human beings often want instant answers. Now, instant answers will not always benefit you. Learn to agree with Christ. When God beats around the bush, bear with him because he knows the end from the beginning. You don't. Be at peace.